Tommy Tonight, Tommy Tonight. You are watching Tommy Tonight. He's telling lots of jokes and they're really funny. Everyone's watching Tommy be funny. Because the Mets are really sucking the ball, hitting those jokes right over the wall. East side, west side. Everybody's watching the stream. The TOMMY tonight on New York Town. But it's actually in LA. Hey, what's up, everybody? Tommy Meyer here. Welcome to this very special bonus edition of Tommy Tonight. Weekend edition, baby. Now, I have a new official episode coming out on Wednesday. We're going to be talking about Obamagate, as Trump calls it, and some other conspiracy theories that have come out this year. It's been the year of the conspiracy theory. But tonight, I just want to update you on a story that we did a couple of weeks ago. The story was about the sexual assault allegations against presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden, made by Tara Reade. Now, in that episode, I went through what we know and what we don't know, and about the allegations, and I called on Joe Biden to be fully transparent, and I still stand by that 100%. But there have been some new revelations. Two articles came out this Friday that shed new light on the allegations, so I thought we could take a little time to talk about that. Now, as I said in the original episode, I'm not going to pretend to be totally unbiased here. I've been all in for Joe since the start of the campaign, so I've definitely got a dog in this race, and I'm hoping that dog is not a dog. But I am going to do my best to try to be as objective as possible, because like I said in the last episode, really, I just want the truth. So to start off, I want to say false accusations of rape and sexual assault are extremely, extremely rare. Most studies put the number of provably false accusations between 2 and 10%. The FBI puts the number at 8%. Moreover, most false accusations are made by teenage girls, often trying to get out of trouble, or false accusers also have a history of bizarre claims or criminal fraud. What's a far bigger problem is cases of actual rape that go unreported. The U.S. Bureau of Justice Statistics, that's a tongue twister right there, puts that number at 35%. Now, I also want to preface this by saying that none of what I'm about to say is being put out there as irrefutable proof that something did or didn't happen. We still don't know, and honestly, we'll likely never know. But this is just another piece of the puzzle, another piece that we have to weigh along with everything else we know about Reade and Biden to try and do our best to figure out what we believe did or did not happen and what that means to us come November. So there were two stories that caught my eye on Friday. The first is a story for PBS NewsHour by Daniel Bush and Lisa Desjardins called "What 74 Staffers Think About Reade's Allegations." And here is what Desjardins had to say.
We tried to reach out to some 200 former Biden staffers. Of that, we were able to have in-depth interviews with some 74 of them. Now, 62 of these former staffers were women. And to a person, Judy, those women told us they had never had any experience that was uncomfortable with the former vice president or had ever heard of any experience that was uncomfortable.
Really? Never heard of any experience that was uncomfortable? Because I can think of a few. Yeah, that looks pretty uncomfortable to me. Oh, I am uncomfortable right now. Jesus. Look at that girl's face. That is the poster child, literally because she's a child, of uncomfortable. Also, look at Dad's face in the background. He's like, I'm going to kill him. Man, social distancing must be hell for Joe Biden. Now, I get the point, though. What they're trying to say is that there's creepy grandpa and then there's rapey grandpa, and Joe Biden seems to be more creepy grandpa than he is rapey. But it wasn't all good news for Biden.
We spoke to people who said at the time of this, it was known about Biden, that he would rub your shoulders, squeeze your shoulders, give people hugs and kisses. They did acknowledge that former Vice President Biden doesn't seem to have a strong social signal.
What? This guy doesn't have a strong social signal?
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger other than self-defense. That's rarely ever occurs. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it.
We need to keep punching at it. We need to backhand it, lock it in a closet, steal its cell phone, and make sure it isn't texting any other cultures. Joe. Now, another thing Tara Reade alleges is that she was fired as retaliation for complaining about sexual harassment. However, one of her fellow staffers refutes that claim.
We spoke to the man who shared an office with her. His name is Ben Savage. They worked together on Constituent Mail. Ben Savage told us that actually it was a performance problem with Tara Reade that he himself raised to supervisors.
And of all the people who held that position, she's the only one during my time there who couldn't necessarily keep up, who found it frustrating.
Now, staffers did lend some credence to certain aspects of her claims.
We know that the vice president or the senator at the time did go to the gym. Many staffers told us that. And that Reade's job is one that would have run errands, for example.
Another one of Reade's claims is that she was asked to serve drinks at a fundraiser because Biden, quote, liked her legs. But fellow staffers say that that's unlikely.
At that time, people who worked there, and we spoke to about 20 of them, said junior staff and no staff really was asked to go to fundraisers. That was a campaign function only. And moreover, two men who were junior staffers at that time with Reade recalled, or around the time that Reade was there, recalled that Biden had a policy that he asked men to do menial tasks like bring him coffee or drive him, specifically because he didn't want women to be seen as serving him.
But another claim that Reade made, that she was told not to dress so provocatively, likely did happen.
Judy, we can confirm from a staffer who was with Reade at the time and didn't want to be named that she remembers that conversation. She remembers Reade telling her about that admonishment about her dress. That is something that we have confirmed. Now, there are different opinions. Reade believes there was no cause for that admonishment, that it was made up and it was retaliation, that her dress was normal and professional. But three coworkers said no, they felt that it was not professional.
Now, I mentioned that there were two articles that caught my attention. The second one I debated showing because I want to obviously stay as far away as possible from anything resembling character assassination. However, in a case where it's his word against hers, both his character and hers are relevant and something that needs to be taken into account when trying to assess the veracity of their claims. And I just want to be clear that just because someone has been deceitful in the past doesn't mean they're lying now. How deceitful people can be sexually assaulted. Even the boy who cried wolf was telling the truth 1/3 of the time. But as I said earlier, people who report false rape claims tend to have a history of making bizarre claims or fraud. So, again, this doesn't mean that she's lying. It's just another piece of the puzzle. And if I sound like I'm being really careful, it's because I am. Because I know this is and I'm, and I have a little, I'm bigger than that. There you go. Anyway, let's get into it. So about a month or so ago, when all of this was sort of starting to hit the fan, I came across an article on Medium that caught my attention. Now, I didn't share it at the time. It says that that Tara Reade allegedly stole from a nonprofit. I didn't share it at the time because I couldn't corroborate it, and it wasn't exactly from a reputable source, being on Medium. But on Friday, Politico published an article that made similar claims, so I thought it was worth addressing quickly. The article is titled "Manipulative, Deceitful User. Tara Reade Left a Trail of Aggrieved Acquaintances." Now, in the article, numerous people claim that Reade conned them or otherwise took advantage of them by playing to their sympathies, including a couple in California from whom she was renting a place. According to Politico, after her husband suffered a brain injury that forced the couple to sell the property, Reade turned on them. She became really difficult. She said, "You're going to have to pay me to get me to leave." She was manipulative. She was always saying she was going to get it together, but she couldn't. And could you help her? Now, Kelly Klett also rented Reade a place. According to Klett, Reade shared that she had been a victim of domestic abuse and was taking some time to study for the bar exam. She asked if she could have a break on rent. Now, this was in 2018. Reade graduated from law school in 2004. Lynn Hummer was the owner of the Horse Sanctuary, the nonprofit that I was talking about earlier, and she claims that, among other things, Reade called a veterinarian to the ranch to service her personal horse, leaving Hummer to pay a $1,400 bill. Now, they have been feuding publicly on Twitter, and Reade has threatened to sue Hummer for defamation. And Austin Chung rented Reade a place in 2008, but had to evict her for non-payment. He claims to have lost thousands of dollars from damages she did to the room. Now, to be fair, not everyone Politico talked to had bad experiences with Reade. Gina Keincher, whose daughter is friends with Reade, called her a wonderful person. She said that she became part of my whole family. When she couldn't pay the boarding costs, she would work it off. So, what does this all mean? I don't know. My conclusion hasn't changed from my last episode, that we simply don't know, and we will likely never know whether or not this happened. However, there is a decent amount of information out there that I think reasonable people can look at and come to their own conclusions. I'm not going to tell you what conclusion to come to. I've provided links to the articles that I used in my research, but I also I suggest that you go do your own research. Don't just rely on me for information. Read articles that you agree with and ones that challenge your beliefs, and try your best to come to an objective conclusion about whether or not you think it's more or less likely this happened, and only you can decide what that means for you come November. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, and make sure that you tune in on Wednesday for a brand new episode. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit subscribe to get the latest videos when they come out. When else would you get them?